The engine room. It's the beating heart of any ship. It's a place of raw power, where massive engines roar and complex systems hum. It's the domain of skilled engineers and dedicated crew members who keep the vessel moving. But this vital space also presents inherent dangers. The engine room is a high-risk environment demanding constant vigilance. In this unforgiving environment, safety can never be an afterthought. It must be woven into the very fabric of every task, every procedure, and every interaction. One misstep, one oversight, one moment of complacency can have dire consequences. This is why a robust safety culture is paramount in the engine room. Navigating this challenging environment requires more than just technical expertise. It demands a deep understanding of potential hazards and a steadfast commitment to safe work practices. Every crew member, from the most seasoned engineer to the newest recruit, plays a crucial role in upholding the safety culture. This guide serves as a critical resource for anyone working in the engine room. It's a roadmap to understanding the risks, mastering essential safety protocols, and fostering a collective commitment to safety above all else. Remember, in the engine room, safety is not just a rule, it's a shared responsibility. A culture of safety isn't something you just talk about. It's something you build, nurture, and live by every single day. It starts with a shared understanding that safety is everyone's responsibility, not just the domain of safety officers or supervisors. Every crew member must feel empowered to speak up if they see something unsafe, to ask questions, and to report potential hazards without fear of reprisal. Open communication is the lifeblood of a strong safety culture. Regular safety meetings, toolbox talks, and training sessions provide a platform for sharing knowledge, discussing concerns, and reinforcing safe work practices. When crew members feel comfortable voicing their opinions and reporting potential hazards, it creates an environment where accidents are less likely to occur. Training is another cornerstone of a robust safety culture. New crew members must receive comprehensive training on engine room hazards, safe work procedures, and emergency protocols. Regular refresher training for all crew members ensures that safety knowledge stays sharp and that everyone is up to date on the latest procedures and best practices. But a culture of safety goes beyond rules and regulations. It's about fostering a mindset where safety is ingrained in every action. It's about looking out for one another, anticipating potential hazards, and taking proactive steps to mitigate risks. It's about understanding that shortcuts and complacency are incompatible with a safe working environment. In the following sections, we will delve deeper into the specific elements that contribute to a safe engine room environment. We'll start by exploring the essential personal protective equipment, PPE, that acts as your first line of defense against potential hazards. We'll then shine a light on the common hazards lurking within the engine room, from the searing heat of engines and boilers to the ever-present danger of rotating machinery. Understanding these hazards and knowing how to mitigate the risks is crucial for anyone working in this demanding environment. Safe work practices are the backbone of a safe engine room. We'll cover essential procedures like lockout or tagout, safe handling of tools and equipment, and the importance of maintaining situational awareness and effective teamwork. No matter how diligently we prepare, emergencies can and do happen. We'll equip you with the knowledge and skills to handle fire emergencies, execute emergency shutdown procedures, and navigate evacuation plans with confidence. Finally, we'll emphasize the importance of routine inspections and maintenance in preventing accidents and ensuring the smooth operation of all engine room systems. We'll discuss the importance of accurate documentation and timely reporting of any issues. In the unforgiving environment of the ship's engine room, personal protective equipment, PPE, is non-negotiable. It's the barrier between you and a multitude of hazards that could cause serious, even fatal injuries. Think of PPE as your personal suit of armor, shielding you from the invisible forces and potential dangers lurking within this industrial domain. From head to toe, each piece of PPE serves a specific purpose, protecting a vulnerable part of your body. The hard hat shields your skull from falling objects. Gloves protect your hands from burns, cuts, and abrasions. Goggles safeguard your eyes from flying debris and chemical splashes. Ear protection preserves your hearing from the deafening roar of machinery. Fire-resistant clothing provides a crucial barrier against flames and intense heat, and safety boots offer much-needed protection for your feet from heavy objects and slippery surfaces. But simply wearing PPE isn't enough. You must understand how to use each piece correctly, ensuring it fits properly and provides maximum protection. A loosely fastened hard hat won't offer much protection if it falls off during a critical moment. Gloves that are too big can hinder your dexterity and make it difficult to handle tools safely. And goggles that are scratched or fogged up can impair your vision, increasing the risk of accidents. This section of the guide will delve into the specifics of each type of PPE, providing detailed information on its proper use, inspection, and storage. Remember, your safety and the safety of your crewmates depends on your commitment to wearing and using your PPE correctly. It's not just a rule, it's a matter of life and death. Section 2. Hard hats protecting your head. The hard hat is your primary defense against head injuries in the engine room. It's designed to protect your skull from the impact of falling objects, such as tools, equipment parts, or even structural debris. A single, seemingly insignificant bolt falling from a height can have devastating consequences if it strikes an unprotected head. When selecting a hard hat, ensure it meets the required safety standards and is in good condition. The shell should be free of cracks, dents, or any signs of damage. The suspension system, consisting of the headband and straps, should be intact and adjusted to fit snugly but comfortably on your head. A properly fitted hard hat should sit level on your head, not tilted back or forward. Before each use, inspect your hard hat for any damage that may have occurred during storage or previous use. Look for any cracks, dents, or signs of wear and tear on the shell, the headband, and the straps. If you find any damage, even minor, remove the hard hat from service and replace it immediately. A compromised hard hat is a liability, offering little to no protection in the event of an accident. Remember, the lifespan of a hard hat is not indefinite. Exposure to sunlight, heat, and chemicals can degrade the shell material over time, compromising its effectiveness. Always follow the manufacturer's recommendations for replacement and err on the side of caution. If you have any doubts about your hard hat's integrity, your head is worth protecting, so never compromise on the quality or condition of your hard hat. Section 3. Gloves. Shielding your hands. Your hands are your primary tools in the engine room, but they're also incredibly vulnerable to a wide range of hazards, from burns caused by hot surfaces and steam, to cuts from sharp edges and abrasions from rough materials. Your hands face constant risks in this demanding environment. That's where gloves come in, providing a crucial layer of protection between your skin and potential dangers. But choosing the right type of glove for the task at hand is paramount. Leatherwork gloves offer excellent protection against abrasions, punctures, and general wear and tear, making them suitable for tasks involving handling rough materials, tools, and equipment. Heat-resistant gloves, typically made from materials like leather or specialized fabrics with insulating linings, are essential when working around hot surfaces, steam pipes, or molten materials. Chemical-resistant gloves, often made from nitrile, neoprene, or other synthetic materials, provide a barrier against hazardous chemicals, protecting your skin from irritation, burns, or even absorption. Before you slip on a pair of gloves, inspect them for any signs of damage. Look for cuts, tears, punctures, or excessive wear and tear. Check the seams to ensure they're intact and free of any fraying or separation. A compromised glove offers little to no protection and could even exacerbate an injury. If you find any damage, discard the gloves and select a new pair. Once you've donned your gloves, pay attention to how they fit. Gloves that are too tight can restrict your hand movements and reduce blood flow, leading to discomfort and fatigue. Conversely, gloves that are too loose can snag on objects, reducing your dexterity and potentially leading to accidents. The right fit should feel snug but not constricting, allowing for a full range of motion while maintaining a secure grip. Section 4. Goggles. Safeguarding your sight. The engine room is a visually demanding environment, but it's also fraught with hazards that can compromise your most valuable scent sight. From flying debris generated by grinding, cutting, or chipping, to chemical splashes from leaking pipes or spills Your eyes are constantly at risk. Goggles serve as your first and arguably most important line of defense, shielding your eyes from these potential dangers. But not all goggles are created equal. Selecting the right type for the specific hazards you're facing is crucial. Impact-resistant goggles, often featuring polycarbonate lenses, are essential for tasks involving flying particles, such as grinding, chipping, or hammering. Chemical splash goggles, typically equipped with a tight seal around the eyes and indirect ventilation, provide protection from splashes, mists, and vapors of hazardous chemicals. Before each use, inspect your goggles for any signs of damage or wear. Check the lenses for scratches, cracks, or pits, as even minor imperfections can compromise your vision and increase the risk of eye injury. Examine the frames for cracks, bends, or any damage that could affect the goggles' fit or seal. If you find any defects, discard the goggles and select a new pair. Proper fit is crucial for goggles to provide optimal protection. They should fit snugly around your eyes and face, creating a seal that prevents dust, debris, or chemical splashes from reaching your eyes. However, the fit should not be so tight that it causes discomfort or restricts your peripheral vision. Adjust the strap as needed to achieve a secure and comfortable fit. Ear protection, preserving your hearing. The cacophony of the engine room, the roar of engines, the clang of metal, the hiss of steam can take a toll on your hearing over time. Prolonged exposure to loud noises can lead to noise-induced hearing loss, a permanent and irreversible condition. Protecting your hearing is not just about comfort. It's about safeguarding a vital sense that you rely on both on and off the job. There are two main types of ear protection commonly used in the engine room: plugs and earmuffs. Earplugs are small, insertable devices that fit snugly into the ear canal, blocking sound waves from reaching the eardrum. They're available in a variety of materials, including foam, silicone, and custom molded options. Earmuffs, as their name suggests, are cup-like devices that fit over the entire ear, creating a seal around the ear and attenuating sound waves. When selecting earplugs, choose a type and size that fits comfortably in your ear canal. Foam earplugs are generally considered the most effective for blocking out a wide range of frequencies. Roll the foam earplug between your fingers to compress it, then insert it into your ear canal while pulling up and back on your earlobe. The earplug should expand to fill the ear canal, creating a snug seal. Earmuffs should fit snugly over your ears, creating a seal against your head. Adjust the headband to ensure a comfortable but secure fit. The ear cups should completely enclose your ears, and the headband should provide even pressure around your head. If the earmuffs feel loose or uncomfortable, adjust the headband or try a different size or model. Fire-resistant clothing, a barrier against flames. In the volatile environment of the ship's engine room, where flammable liquids, hot surfaces, and potential ignition sources coexist, the risk of fire is an ever-present reality. Fire-resistant clothing provides a crucial layer of protection, shielding your skin from the devastating effects of flames and intense heat should a fire occur. Fire-resistant clothing is typically made from specially treated fabrics that are inherently resistant to ignition and combustion. These fabrics are designed to self-extinguish, preventing the spread of flames and minimizing the severity of burns. Common materials used in fire-resistant clothing include Nomex, Kevlar, and modacrylic. These materials are lightweight, breathable, and offer a high level of protection against heat and flames. When selecting fire-resistant clothing, ensure it meets the required safety standards for your industry and work environment. Look for garments that are labeled with the appropriate hazard ratings, such as hazard risk category or arc thermal performance value. These ratings indicate the level of protection the garment provides against specific thermal hazards. Wearing fire-resistant clothing correctly is just as important as selecting the right garment. Ensure that all zippers are fully zipped, buttons are buttoned, and cuffs are secured. Loose clothing can catch fire more easily and provide a pathway for flames to reach your skin. Tuck in your shirt tails and ensure that no loose fabric is hanging out from under your fire-resistant clothing. Safety boots. A firm footing. The engine room floor is a treacherous landscape, littered with potential hazards that can turn a routine step into a painful injury. Heavy objects, slippery surfaces, sharp edges, and electrical hazards all pose risks to your feet. Safety boots, a non-negotiable piece of personal protective equipment in this environment, provide essential protection, shielding your feet from impact, punctures, slips, and electrical shocks. Steel-toe boots, as their name suggests, feature reinforced toe cap made from steel or other impact-resistant materials. This protective cap shields your toes from the impact of falling objects such as tools, equipment parts, or heavy materials. When selecting steel-toe boots, ensure the toe cap is rated for the weight and force of potential impact hazards in your work environment. Slip-resistant soles are crucial for maintaining a firm footing on the often slick surfaces of the engine room. Oil, grease, water, and other liquids can create hazardous conditions that increase the risk of slips, trips, and falls. Look for boots with soles made from materials like rubber or polyurethane that provide a high coefficient of friction, even on wet or oily surfaces. Electrical hazard boots provide an extra layer of protection for those working around electrical equipment or live wires. These boots are designed to prevent the flow of electricity through your body, reducing the risk of electrical shock. Electrical hazard boots undergo rigorous testing to ensure they meet specific safety standards for electrical insulation. In the demanding environment of the ship's engine room, your safety depends on the integrity of your personal protective equipment. Before each use, carefully examine each piece of your PPE. Start with your hard hat. Check the shell for any cracks or signs of impact. Examine the headband and straps for fraying or tears. Ensure the headband adjustment mechanism works correctly. Replace a compromised hard hat immediately. Next, inspect your gloves. Look for cuts, tears, or excessive wear. Check the seams for fraying. Pay close attention to the fingertips. Discard damaged gloves and select a new pair. Don't forget your goggles. Check the lenses for scratches or cracks. Examine the frames for damage. Ensure the strap adjusts properly for a secure fit. Properly stowed PPE lasts longer and provides optimal protection. Treat your PPE with care and respect. Proper storage ensures it's in peak condition when needed. Designate a clean, dry, and well-ventilated area for PPE storage. Avoid areas exposed to direct sunlight, extreme temperatures, or high humidity. Keep PPE away from sharp objects and chemicals. Store your hard hat upside down on a hook or shelf. Avoid tossing your hard hat on the floor. Ensure the suspension system straps are properly adjusted. Store gloves flat in a drawer or bin. Avoid folding or crushing gloves. Allow wet gloves to air dry completely before storing. In the ship's engine room, PPE transcends its utilitarian function. It's more than just a uniform or a set of rules. PPE represents a commitment to safety. Every time you don your hard hat, you protect your brain. Every time you slip on your gloves, you protect your hands. Every time you adjust your goggles, you safeguard your sight. PPE is a visual reminder of the risks in this environment. It's a symbol of a culture of safety. Seeing crewmates wearing PPE correctly reinforces shared responsibility. PPE is a tangible expression of commitment to best practices. It shows you're prepared for the unexpected. It demonstrates professionalism and understanding of risk mitigation. The ship's engine room is a testament to human ingenuity, yet it harbors potential dangers, demanding constant vigilance. From searing heat to deafening machinery, the engine room tests even seasoned mariners. This is not a place for complacency. Every piece of equipment holds potential danger if not treated with care. The engine room demands awareness and commitment to safe practices. Imagine the sting of steam from a faulty valve or the force of a hydraulic failure. These are potential realities in this environment. This section explores these hazards and their consequences. We'll discuss steps to mitigate risks and ensure safety. Knowledge translates directly into safety in the engine room. The engine room pulsates with heat. Massive engines and steam pipes generate oppressive heat. Burns, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke are constant threats. Imagine the pain of a steam burn or the dizziness of heat exhaustion. These are serious conditions that can escalate rapidly. Prevention is key to combating heat-related illnesses. Wear heat-resistant gloves and breathable fabrics. Stay hydrated with water or electrolyte-rich beverages. Recognize early signs of heat stress, heavy sweating, muscle cramps, dizziness. Move to a cooler area and drink water if symptoms appear. Rest until you feel better. Seek medical attention if symptoms persist. The engine room hums with rotating machinery. Gears, shafts, and pumps create a perilous ballet of industrial might. This machinery presents risks of entanglement and crushing injuries. Imagine the force of a rotating shaft ensnaring loose clothing. Picture the crushing weight of a heavy gear. These are potential consequences of failing to respect machinery. Maintain a safe distance from rotating machinery. Never reach over, under, or around moving parts. Use tools to operate machinery from a safe distance. De-energize and lock out, tag out machinery before maintenance. Secure loose clothing, remove jewelry, and tie back long hair. Even a momentary lapse can have catastrophic consequences. Respect the power and unpredictability of rotating machinery. Section 4. Electrical hazards. An invisible danger. The engine room pulses with electrical currents. Cables carry power that drives the ship's systems. Electrical panels hum with energy. This unseen power presents constant electrical hazards. Imagine the pain of an electrical shock or the aftermath of an arc flash. These are life-altering injuries. Treat all electrical equipment as if energized. Test circuits with a voltmeter before working. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate PPE. Avoid working on electrical systems alone. Water and electricity are a deadly combination. Never touch electrical equipment with wet hands. Keep electrical panels dry. Use extreme caution in wet conditions and wear appropriate PPE. Section 5. Confined spaces. Navigating the unknown. The engine room conceals confined spaces. These areas present unique challenges and dangers. Imagine the feeling of oxygen deprivation in a confined space. Picture the disorientation and panic of realizing the danger. These are potential realities in confined spaces. Never enter a confined space without proper training and a safety plan. Test the atmosphere before entry with a gas detector. Maintain continuous monitoring of the atmosphere. Use forced air ventilation to circulate fresh air. Maintain constant communication with the standby person. Ensure the standby person can summon help in an emergency. Section 6. Slippery surfaces. Maintaining your footing. The engine room floor presents a risk of slips, trips, and falls. These incidents can escalate into serious injuries. Imagine the sudden loss of balance and the pain of a fall. These are potential consequences of failing to maintain footing. Good housekeeping is the first line of defense. Keep the floor clean and dry. Clean up spills promptly. Use absorbent materials for spills. Provide adequate drainage. Wear slip-resistant footwear. Avoid open-toed shoes or worn-down soles. Pay attention to your surroundings and anticipate hazards. Section 7. Chemical hazards. Handling with care. The engine room houses hazardous substances. Fuels, lubricants, and cleaning agents pose health risks. Imagine the burn of acid on your skin or inhaling toxic fumes. These are serious chemical exposures. Store chemicals in original containers with labels intact. Never transfer chemicals to unlabeled containers. Store incompatible chemicals separately. Wear appropriate PPE when handling chemicals. Work in a well-ventilated area. Use local exhaust ventilation to remove fumes. Know the location and use of emergency eye wash stations and safety showers. Section 8. Noise pollution. Protecting your hearing. The engine room assaults the ears with industrial noise. Noise-induced hearing loss is a serious hazard. Imagine struggling to follow a conversation or the isolation of hearing loss. These are potential consequences of NIHL. Wear hearing protection, such as earplugs or ear muffs. The louder the noise, the greater the protection required. Choose comfortable hearing protection with adequate noise reduction.
Limit exposure to loud noises. Take breaks in quieter areas. Rotate job tasks to reduce continuous exposure. Use sound dampening materials to reduce noise levels.
Section 9. Ergonomic hazards. Working smart. The engine room, a physically demanding environment, challenges the human body with awkward postures, repetitive motions, forceful exertions, and prolonged vibrations. These ergonomic hazards, often overlooked, can lead to musculoskeletal disorders or MSDs that cause pain, discomfort, and disability, affecting your ability to work and enjoy life to the fullest. Imagine the nagging ache in your lower back, the sharp pain shooting down your arm, the numbness and tingling in your hands. These are the hallmarks of MSDs, conditions that can develop gradually over time, often the result of repeated microtraumas to muscles, tendons, ligaments, and nerves. Use proper lifting techniques to avoid back injuries. Lift with your legs, not your back. Keep your back straight, bend your knees, and hold the object close to your body. Get help from coworkers when lifting heavy or awkward objects. Take breaks to stretch and move around throughout the workday. Prolonged static postures, such as standing or sitting for extended periods, can contribute to MSDs. Use ergonomic tools and equipment, such as adjustable chairs, anti-fatigue mats, and ergonomic hand tools to reduce strain on your body. Section 10. Mind over matter. The human factor. The engine room, a test of human resilience, demands more than just physical strength and technical expertise. It requires mental acuity, situational awareness, and a commitment to safety that extends beyond rules and regulations to encompass a mindset of vigilance and proactive risk management. The human factor, often overlooked, plays a critical role in preventing accidents and ensuring a safe working environment. Imagine the tunnel vision that can set in when you're focused on a task. Your mind so engrossed in the details that you fail to notice the warning signs of a developing hazard. Picture the complacency that can creep in over time. The routine becoming so familiar that you let your guard down, assuming that accidents only happen to others. Fatigue, stress, distractions, and complacency are silent saboteurs of safety. Get adequate sleep, manage stress levels, minimize distractions, and maintain a healthy work-life balance. Encourage a culture of open communication where crew members feel comfortable speaking up about safety concerns without fear of reprisal. Never underestimate the power of observation and communication. Be aware of your surroundings. Report any potential hazards and look out for your crewmates. Remember, safety is a shared responsibility, and a single voice raised in concern can prevent a tragedy. Section 1. A Foundation of Safety. The ship's engine room, a realm of immense power and potential danger, demands a steadfast commitment to safe work practices. It's not enough to simply understand the hazards. We must actively mitigate those risks through deliberate actions and unwavering adherence to safety protocols. Safe work practices are not mere suggestions. They are the very foundation upon which a secure and efficient working environment is built. Every task, from the simplest routine check to the most complex repair, must be approached with a safety-first mindset. This means taking the time to plan the work, identify potential hazards, and implement control measures before commencing any task. It means never taking shortcuts, never rushing, and never compromising safety for the sake of expediency. Safe work practices encompass a wide range of actions and behaviors, from the proper use of tools and equipment to effective communication and teamwork. They include following established procedures, wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, and maintaining a clean and organized work area. They also involve recognizing and reporting potential hazards, participating in safety meetings and training, and fostering a culture of safety awareness. This section delves into the essential safe work practices that are crucial for minimizing risks and ensuring a secure working environment in the ship's engine room. By understanding and implementing these practices, we create a safety net that protects not only ourselves, but also our crewmates and the integrity of the vessel. Section 2. The right tool for the job, a matter of principle. In the ship's engine room, where precision and power converge, using the right tool for the job is not just a matter of efficiency, it's a fundamental principle of safety. Using the wrong tool can damage equipment, compromise the integrity of systems, and even lead to serious injuries. Just as a surgeon wouldn't perform open heart surgery with a butter knife, an engineer shouldn't attempt to loosen a high torque bolt with an adjustable wrench. Selecting the appropriate tool requires an understanding of the task at hand, the forces involved, and the limitations of different tools. Using a wrench that's too small for a bolt can result in slippage, stripping the bolt head, and potentially injuring your hand. Conversely, using a wrench that's too large can damage the bolt or the surrounding equipment. Consider the following factors when choosing a tool. The type of fastener. Different fasteners such as bolts, nuts, screws, and rivets require specific types of wrenches, sockets, or drivers. The size of the fastener. Using the correct size tool ensures a snug fit and prevents slippage or damage. The torque requirements. Some fasteners require specific torque settings, which can be achieved using a torque wrench to prevent over-tightening or under-tightening. The material of the fastener and surrounding equipment. Using the wrong tool material can damage delicate surfaces or create sparks in flammable environments. In the unforgiving environment of the ship's engine room, where tools are subjected to extreme temperatures, corrosive substances, and constant use, regular inspection is not just a best practice, it's a critical safety measure. A tool that may appear functional at first glance could harbor hidden defects that could lead to failure, injury, or even catastrophe. Before each use, take the time to carefully examine your tools for any signs of damage, wear, or malfunction. Look for cracks, chips, or bursts on metal surfaces, especially on striking faces, cutting edges, and areas that come into contact with fasteners. Check for frayed or damaged insulation on electrical tools and ensure that cords are free of cuts, abrasions, or exposed wires. Inspect moving parts for smooth operation, ensuring that they are free of rust, corrosion, or excessive play. Check that handles are secure, grips are intact, and any locking mechanisms are functioning correctly. Test the sharpness of cutting tools and replace or sharpen dull blades to prevent slippage and ensure clean cuts. Don't overlook the importance of maintaining your tools in good working order. Clean tools after each use to remove dirt, grease, or corrosive substances. Lubricate moving parts regularly to prevent rust and ensure smooth operation. Store tools properly in a clean, dry, and organized manner to prevent damage and prolong their lifespan. In the ship's engine room, where tools are extensions of our hands and our actions have the potential to impact the safety of ourselves and others, handling tools safely is paramount. A moment of carelessness, a lapse in concentration, or a failure to follow proper procedures can have serious consequences. Just as a skilled surgeon wields a scalpel with precision and care, so too must an engineer handle tools with respect and awareness of their potential power. Maintaining a firm grip on tools is crucial to prevent them from slipping, falling, or striking unintended objects. Use both hands when necessary especially when working with heavy or unwieldy tools. Keep your fingers clear of moving parts, cutting edges, pinch points. Never carry tools in your pockets, as they could fall out or cause injury if you fall. When passing tools to another person, ensure a clear line of communication and a secure handoff. Offer the tool handle first, allowing the receiver to take a firm grip before you release your hold. Avoid tossing tools, even over short distances, as this increases the risk of damage or injury. Sharp tools such as knives, chisels, and saws require extra caution. Always cut away from your body and keep your fingers clear of the cutting path. Use a cutting mat or other protective surface to prevent damage to work surfaces and reduce the risk of slips. Store sharp tools separately from other tools to prevent accidental contact and potential injuries. In the heart of the ship's engine room, where machinery hums with relentless power and electrical currents course through a labyrinth of wires and conduits, the concept of lockout-tagout takes center stage as a non-negotiable safety protocol. This critical procedure, designed to protect personnel from the unexpected startup or release of stored energy, is not merely a suggestion. It's a lifeline in a realm where complacency can have fatal consequences. Lockout-tagout involves a systematic approach to de-energizing machinery or equipment before performing maintenance, repairs, or cleaning. This process ensures that the equipment cannot be accidentally activated while work is being done, preventing potentially fatal injuries from electrical shock, entanglement in moving parts, or releases of stored energy. The first step in the lockout-tagout procedure is to identify the energy sources that power the equipment. This may include electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, chemical, or thermal energy. Once the energy sources have been identified, they must be isolated and controlled at the source. Electrical energy is typically isolated by shutting off circuit breakers, disconnecting switches, or removing fuses. Mechanical energy can be isolated by disengaging clutches, removing drive belts, or blocking moving parts. Hydraulic and pneumatic energy can be isolated by closing valves, venting pressure, or disconnecting lines. Section 6. Tagging out. Communicating the risk. In the symphony of industrial activity that defines the ship's engine room, where multiple tasks often occur simultaneously and the potential for miscommunication is ever present, the simple act of tagging out a locked out piece of equipment takes on profound significance. A tag, properly affixed and clearly labeled, serves as a silent sentinel, communicating a vital message. Danger lurks within, and only authorized personnel may proceed. Once a piece of equipment has been de-energized and isolated through the lockout procedure, it's crucial to attach a tag that clearly identifies the equipment, the reason for the lockout, the date and time of the lockout, and the name of the authorized employee who applied the lockout. This information serves as a visual reminder to all personnel that the equipment is not to be operated until the lockout has been properly removed. The tag should be durable, weather-resistant, and securely attached to the energy isolating device in a manner that prevents accidental removal. It should be clearly visible and legible, even in low light conditions. The use of standardized tag colors, symbols, and wording enhances clarity and reduces the risk of misinterpretation. The tagging out process serves several critical functions. First, it provides a visual deterrent, discouraging unauthorized personnel from attempting to operate the equipment. Second, it communicates the reason for the lockout, informing other crew members why the equipment is out of service. Third, it identifies the authorized employee who applied the lockout, enabling others to contact them if necessary. Section 7. Verifying isolation. Double-checking for safety. In the high-stakes environment of the ship's engine room, where the consequences of an error can be catastrophic, verifying the isolation of energy sources during lockout tag-out procedures is not merely a prudent step, it's an absolute necessity. This crucial verification process, often referred to as zero-energy verification, ensures that the equipment is truly de-energized before any work begins, minimizing the risk of injury or death from unexpected startup or release of stored energy. Once the energy isolating devices have been locked out and tagged out, it's essential to verify that the isolation is complete and effective. This involves physically checking that the energy sources have been disconnected and that no residual energy remains in the system. For electrical systems, verification typically involves using a voltage detector or multimeter to test for the presence of voltage at the point of work. The voltage detector should be rated for the specific voltage level of the system being tested. Never rely solely on visual inspection of switches or circuit breakers, as they may be faulty or incorrectly labeled. Mechanical systems can be verified by attempting to operate the equipment manually, ensuring that all moving parts are stationary and that no stored energy, such as compressed springs or hydraulic pressure, remains in the system. Use extreme caution when performing this step, as even a small amount of stored energy can cause serious injury. Section 8. Situational awareness. Eyes and ears open. The ship's engine room, a dynamic and ever-changing environment, demands a heightened sense of situational awareness from all personnel. It's not enough to simply focus on the task at hand. We must also be acutely aware of our surroundings, anticipating potential hazards and responding proactively to changing conditions. Situational awareness is not a passive state. It's an active process of observation, assessment, and anticipation. Maintaining situational awareness involves more than just seeing and hearing what's happening around you. It also requires understanding the significance of those observations and anticipating how they might impact your safety or the safety of others. It's about connecting the dots, recognizing patterns, and anticipating potential hazards before they become imminent threats. Start by being aware of your surroundings. Know the location of emergency exits, fire extinguishers, first aid kits, and other safety equipment. Familiarize yourself with the layout of the engine room, including the location of machinery, piping systems, electrical panels, and other potential hazards. Pay attention to the sounds of the engine room. Learn to distinguish between normal operating sounds and unusual noises that might indicate a problem. Be alert for hissing steam, grinding gears, sparking wires, or any other sounds that seem out of place. Section 9. Teamwork, Strength in Numbers. In the demanding and often hazardous environment of the ship's engine room, where the complexities of machinery and the potential for unforeseen events require a coordinated and collaborative approach, teamwork emerges as the cornerstone of safety and efficiency. It's not enough for each crew member to possess individual skills and knowledge. They must also function as a cohesive unit, communicating effectively, supporting one another, and working together towards a common goal, the safe and efficient operation of the vessel. Teamwork in the engine room extends beyond simply dividing tasks and sharing workloads. It encompasses a shared understanding of the importance of safety, a willingness to look out for one another, and a commitment to open communication and mutual support. It's about recognizing that each crew member plays a vital role in maintaining a safe and efficient working environment. Effective teamwork begins with communication. Crew members must be able to clearly and concisely communicate information to one another, whether it's a status update, a safety concern, or a request for assistance. This communication should be timely, accurate, and respectful, fostering an environment of trust and mutual respect. Teamwork also involves a willingness to assist others when needed, whether it's helping to lift a heavy object, providing guidance on a complex task, or simply offering a watchful eye. Crew members should be ready and willing to support one another. This spirit of cooperation not only enhances safety, but also fosters a positive and productive work environment. Section 10. Communication, clear, concise, and constant. In the cacophony of the ship's engine room, where the roar of machinery and the clang of metal create a constant din, clear, concise, and constant communication emerges as the lifeblood of safety. Just as a conductor guides an quiescent orchestra through a complex symphony, effective communication orchestrates the actions of the engine room crew, ensuring that everyone is on the same page. Potential hazards are identified and addressed, and tasks are completed safely and efficiently. Effective communication in the engine room transcends the spoken word. It encompasses a variety of methods, from face-to-face conversations and hand signals to written logs and electronic communication systems. The key is to choose the most appropriate method for the situation, ensuring that the message is received, understood, and acted upon. When verbal communication is possible, it should be clear, concise, and to the point. Use plain language, avoiding jargon or technical terms that not everyone may understand. Repeat back instructions or information to ensure that you have understood correctly. Maintain eye contact and use active listening techniques to demonstrate that you are engaged in the conversation. In noisy environments where verbal communication is difficult, hand signals can be an effective way to communicate basic instructions or warnings. Develop a standardized set of hand signals that are understood by all crew members and practice using them regularly. Section 1. Fire Emergencies. Responding to the blaze. In the unforgiving environment of the ship's engine room, where flammable materials and high temperatures coexist, the risk of fire is a constant threat. Responding effectively to a fire emergency is paramount for the safety of the crew and the vessel. Fires can escalate quickly, and knowing how to respond can mean the difference between a minor incident and a catastrophic disaster. The first step in responding to a fire emergency is to sound the alarm. This alerts the entire crew to the presence of a fire and initiates the ship's emergency protocols. On most ships, this can be done by activating a manual fire alarm pull station or using the ship's communication system to announce the fire. Once the alarm has been raised, it's crucial to assess the situation, determine the size and location of the fire, the type of materials involved, and whether it can be safely extinguished with the available firefighting equipment. If the fire is small and contained, it may be possible to extinguish it using a portable fire extinguisher. However, if the fire is large or spreading rapidly, it is essential to evacuate the area and seal it off to contain the blaze. Evacuation routes should be well marked and clear of obstructions. Crew members must move quickly and calmly to designated muster stations, ensuring that all personnel are accounted for. It's vital to close all doors and hatches behind you as you evacuate to help contain the fire and prevent it from spreading to other parts of the ship. Section 2. Using fire extinguishers. The PAS method. Fire extinguishers are a critical component of fire emergency response in the engine room. Knowing how to use them correctly can save lives and prevent extensive damage. The PAS method is a simple, 4-step process for using a fire extinguisher effectively. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. First, pull the pin. Begin by pulling the pin at the top of the extinguisher. This will break the tamper seal and allow you to discharge the extinguisher. Next, aim the nozzle. Point the nozzle or hose at the base of the fire. It's crucial to aim low, focusing on the fuel source rather than the flames themselves. Then, squeeze the handle. Squeeze the handle or lever to release the extinguishing agent. Maintain a firm grip as you discharge the extinguisher. Finally, sweep from side to side. Sweep the nozzle from side to side at the base of the fire. Continue sweeping until the fire is completely extinguished. If the fire reignites, repeat the process. It's important to remember that fire extinguishers have a limited supply of extinguishing agent, typically lasting only a few seconds. Use the pass method promptly and efficiently. If the fire cannot be controlled with the fire extinguisher, evacuate immediately and let the ship's fire suppression systems and professional firefighting teams handle the situation. Section 3. Fire classes. Knowing your enemy. Fires in the engine room can involve different materials, each requiring specific types of extinguishing agents. Understanding the different classes of fires and the appropriate extinguishers for each is crucial for effective firefighting. Fires are classified into 4 main categories: A, B, C, and D. Class A fires involve ordinary combustibles such as wood, paper, cloth, and some plastics. Water or foam extinguishers are typically used for Class A fires as they cool the burning material and smother the flames. Class B fires involve flammable liquids such as gasoline, oil, grease, and solvents. These fires require extinguishers that can smother the fire without spreading the flammable liquid. CO2, dry chemical, and foam extinguishers are effective for Class B fires. Class C fires involve electrical equipment such as motors, switches, and wiring. Water-based extinguishers should never be used on Class C fires due to the risk of electrical shock. CO2 and dry chemical extinguishers are suitable for Class C fires as they do not conduct electricity. Class D fires involve combustible metals such as magnesium, aluminum, and titanium. These fires require special extinguishing agents such as dry powder, designed specifically for metal fires. Standard extinguishers are ineffective against Class D fires. Identifying the fire class quickly and accurately is essential for choosing the right fire extinguisher. Using the wrong type of extinguisher can make the fire worse or create additional hazards. Ensure that fire extinguishers are clearly labeled and easily accessible in the engine room, and that all crew members are trained to recognize different fire classes and select the appropriate extinguishing agent. Section 4. Emergency shutdown procedures. Halting operations safely. In an emergency, the ability to shut down machinery and systems quickly and safely is critical to minimizing risks and preventing further damage. Emergency shutdown procedures are designed to halt operations in a controlled manner, ensuring that all energy sources are isolated and that machinery is de-energized. The first step in an emergency shutdown is to press the emergency shutdown button. These buttons are strategically located throughout the engine room and are clearly marked for easy identification. Pressing the button will immediately cut power to the designated machinery or system, stopping its operation. Next, activate the fuel cutoff valves to stop the flow of fuel to the engines and other combustion equipment. This prevents the risk of fuel-fed fires and explosions. Fuel cutoff valves are typically located near the fuel tanks and along the fuel lines, and they should be clearly labeled and easily accessible. After shutting down the machinery and cutting off the fuel supply, isolate the electrical systems by turning off the main electrical switches or circuit breakers. This step ensures that all electrical energy is removed from the equipment, reducing the risk of electrical shock and preventing accidental reactivation of the machinery. Finally, secure the area by closing any open hatches or doors to contain any potential hazards. Ensure that all personnel have evacuated the immediate area and are accounted for at the muster stations. Communicate the situation to the bridge and follow the ship's emergency protocols for further actions and reporting. Section 5. Fuel cutoff valves, stopping the flow. Fuel is the lifeblood of the ship's engines, but in an emergency, it can also be a significant hazard. Stopping the flow of fuel is a crucial step in many emergency procedures, particularly in the case of fires or fuel leaks. Fuel cutoff valves are designed to quickly and effectively halt the supply of fuel, mitigating the risk of fire and explosion. Fuel cutoff valves are typically located near the fuel tanks and along the fuel lines. These valves are clearly labeled and designed for easy operation in an emergency. Familiarize yourself with their locations and ensure that they are easily accessible at all times. In an emergency, the first step is to identify the nearest fuel cutoff valve and activate it immediately. This is usually done by turning a lever or wheel to the closed position. Ensure that the valve is fully closed to stop the flow of fuel completely. It's essential to perform regular inspections and maintenance on fuel cutoff valves to ensure they are in good working condition. Check for any signs of wear, corrosion, or damage, and test the valves periodically to ensure they operate smoothly and effectively. During training and drills, practice locating and operating fuel cutoff valves to ensure that all crew members can perform this task quickly and confidently in an emergency. Understanding the importance of stopping the fuel flow and being prepared to act swiftly can significantly reduce the risks associated with fuel-related emergencies. Section 6. Electrical isolation switches, cutting the power. Electrical systems are integral to the operation of the ship, but in an emergency, they can pose significant hazards. Cutting the power to electrical systems is a critical step in many emergency procedures, particularly in the case of electrical fires, equipment malfunctions, or other dangerous situations. Electrical isolation switches are designed to quickly and effectively disconnect power, ensuring the safety of the crew and the ship. Electrical isolation switches are typically located near the main electrical panels and along critical electrical circuits. These switches are clearly labeled and designed for easy operation in an emergency. Familiarize yourself with their locations and ensure that they are easily accessible at all times. In an emergency, the first step is to identify the nearest electrical isolation switch and activate it immediately. This is usually done by turning a lever or switch to the off position. Ensure that the switch is fully disengaged to cut the power completely. Regular inspections and maintenance of electrical isolation switches are essential to ensure they are in good working condition. Check for any signs of wear, corrosion, or damage, and test the switches periodically to ensure they operate smoothly and effectively. During training and drills, practice locating and operating electrical isolation switches to ensure that all crew members can perform this task quickly and confidently in an emergency. Understanding the importance of cutting the power and being prepared to act swiftly can significantly reduce the risk associated with electrical-related emergencies. Section 7. Evacuation Plans. Getting to safety. In the event of an emergency such as a fire, explosion, or hazardous material spill, evacuating the engine room safely and efficiently is paramount. Evacuation plans are designed to guide crew members to safety, ensuring that everyone is accounted for and that the risk of injury or loss of life is minimized. The first step in an evacuation plan is to sound the alarm. This alerts all crew members to the emergency and initiates the ship's evacuation protocols. On most ships, this can be done by activating a manual fire alarm pull station or using the ship's communication system to announce the evacuation. Next, identify the nearest evacuation route and follow it to the designated muster station. Evacuation routes should be well marked and clear of obstructions. Familiarize yourself with these routes and the locations of muster stations during safety drills and training sessions. Always follow the posted evacuation signs and directions from supervisors or emergency personnel. As you evacuate, move quickly and calmly, avoiding panic. Close all doors and hatches behind you to help contain the emergency and prevent it from spreading to other parts of the ship. Use handrails on stairways and ladders to prevent slips and falls. Once at the muster station, ensure that all crew members are accounted for. Report any missing or injured personnel to the emergency response team. Follow the instructions of the emergency personnel and remain at the muster station until it is safe to return to the engine room or another part of the ship. Section 8. Muster Drills. Practice makes perfect. Muster drills are an essential part of emergency preparedness on board a ship. These drills simulate various emergency scenarios, allowing crew members to practice their response and evacuation procedures. Regular muster drills ensure that everyone knows what to do in an emergency and can perform their tasks quickly and efficiently. During a muster drill, the alarm will sound, signaling the start of the drill. Crew members must immediately stop what they are doing and follow the evacuation plan to the designated muster station. Time is of the essence, and the goal is to reach the muster station as quickly and safely as possible. At the muster station, crew members will check in with their supervisor or designated officer to ensure that everyone is accounted for. Any missing personnel must be reported immediately. The drill may include additional tasks such as donning life jackets, securing loose equipment, or practicing the deployment of life-saving appliances. Muster drills also provide an opportunity to review and update the ship's emergency procedures. After the drill, conduct a debriefing session to discuss what went well and identify areas for improvement. Encourage crew members to ask questions and provide feedback on the drill. Regular muster drills help build muscle memory and confidence, ensuring that crew members can respond effectively in a real emergency. Practice makes perfect, and the more drills conducted, the better prepared the crew will be to handle any situation that arises. Medical emergencies can occur at any time in the engine room, and a prompt and effective response is crucial to prevent further injury or complications. First response involves providing immediate care to stabilize the injured person and summoning professional medical help as quickly as possible. The first step in responding to a medical emergency is to assess the situation. Ensure that the scene is safe for both the responder and the injured person. If there are any immediate hazards, such as fire, electrical shock, or toxic fumes, take steps to eliminate them or move the injured person to a safer location if possible. Next, check the injured person's condition. If they are unconscious, check for responsiveness by gently tapping their shoulder and asking if they are okay. If there is no response, check for breathing and a pulse. If the injured person is not breathing or has no pulse, begin CPR immediately and call for help. If the injured person is conscious, provide first aid as needed. This may involve controlling bleeding, immobilizing fractures, treating burns, or addressing other injuries. Use the ship's first aid kit to provide basic care and follow the instructions in the ship's medical guide. Summon professional medical help as quickly as possible. Use the ship's communication system to alert the medical officer or call for assistance from other crew members. Provide clear and concise information about the injured person's condition and the nature of the emergency. Section 10. Incident Reporting. Learning from emergencies. After an emergency has been resolved, it's essential to conduct a thorough incident report to learn from the event and prevent future occurrences. Incident reporting involves documenting the details of the emergency, analyzing the causes, and identifying corrective actions to improve safety procedures. Start by documenting the incident in detail. Record the date, time, and location of the emergency, as well as the names of all individuals involved. Describe the sequence of events leading up to the emergency, the actions taken during the response, and the outcome. Include any relevant photos, diagrams, or witness statements to provide a comprehensive account of the incident. Next, analyze the causes of the emergency. Identify any factors that contributed to the event, such as equipment failure, human error, procedural deficiencies, or environmental conditions. Determine whether existing safety procedures were followed and if any lapses or deviations occurred. Based on the analysis, identify corrective actions to prevent similar incidents in the future. This may involve updating safety procedures, conducting additional training, improving equipment maintenance, or implementing new safety measures. Ensure that all recommended actions are documented and assigned to responsible individuals for implementation. Finally, share the findings and lessons learned from the incident with the entire crew. Conduct a debriefing session to discuss the incident, review the corrective actions, and reinforce the importance of safety procedures. Encourage open communication and feedback to foster a culture of continuous improvement in safety practices. In the relentless rhythm of the ship's engine room, where machinery operates around the clock and the demands for performance never cease, the importance of routine inspections and maintenance cannot be overstated. These regular checkups, far from being mundane chores, are the lifeblood of a safe and efficient operation. They are the proactive measures that prevent minor issues from escalating into major problems, ensuring the reliability of the vessel and the safety of its crew. Think of routine inspections as the engine room's equivalent of a physical exam. Just as a doctor checks your vital signs, listens to your heart, and examines your body for signs of illness, so too do engineers inspect the engine room's systems and equipment, looking for signs of wear and tear, potential malfunctions, or developing problems. These inspections, conducted at regular intervals, provide a comprehensive snapshot of the engine room's health, enabling engineers to identify and address issues before they escalate into major headaches. Maintenance, on the other hand, is the engine room's version of preventative medicine. Just as regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient sleep keep your body functioning at its best, so too does routine maintenance. Keep the engine room's systems and equipment in peak condition. This includes tasks such as lubricating moving parts, changing filters, cleaning components, and adjusting settings to ensure optimal performance and longevity. By adhering to a rigorous schedule of routine inspections and maintenance, we create a proactive safety net that minimizes the risk of unexpected breakdowns, reduces downtime, and extends the lifespan of the engine room's equipment. This proactive approach not only enhances safety, but also contributes to the overall efficiency and reliability of the vessel. The engine room, a symphony of controlled chaos, demands a disciplined approach to safety, and it all begins with daily inspections. These routine checks, performed at the start of each shift, are the first line of defense against potential problems. They are the quick but thorough glances that can catch minor issues before they escalate into major headaches. Think of daily inspections as the engine room's morning coffee, a vital ritual that sets the tone for the day ahead. Just as a cup of coffee can wake you up and prepare you for the day's challenges, so too can a daily inspection wake up the engine room and prepare it for the demands of operation. It's a time to establish a baseline to ensure that everything is in its proper place and functioning as expected. The scope of a daily inspection may vary depending on the size and complexity of the vessel and its engine room, but some key items are typically included in every checklist. Fluid levels are always a top priority, as low levels of oil, coolant, or hydraulic fluid can lead to overheating, wear and tear, and even catastrophic failure. Checking gauges for pressures, temperatures, and other vital signs is also essential, as abnormal readings can indicate a developing problem. Visual inspections are another crucial component of daily checks. Engineers and crew members should be trained to look for signs of leaks, corrosion, damage, or wear and tear on all equipment, piping, wiring, and structural components. A small leak, if left unattended, can quickly escalate into a major problem. So early detection is key. While daily inspections provide a quick snapshot of the engine room's health, weekly inspections delve deeper, addressing systems and components that require less frequent but equally crucial attention. These inspections, typically conducted on a designated day each week, allow for a more thorough assessment of the engine room's condition, identifying potential problems that might not be immediately apparent during daily checks. Think of weekly inspections as the engine room's weekly cleaning, a more thorough and detailed approach to maintenance than the daily tidying up. Just as you might vacuum, dust, and mop your home once a week to maintain a clean and healthy living environment, so too do engineers conduct weekly inspections to maintain a clean, safe, and efficient engine room. Fuel systems are often a focal point of weekly inspections, as leaks, clogs, or other malfunctions can have serious consequences. Inspecting fuel lines, filters, tanks, and pumps for signs of wear and tear, leaks, or corrosion is crucial for ensuring the reliable delivery of fuel to the engines. Similarly, lubrication systems, which are vital for reducing friction and wear on moving parts, require regular attention. Checking oil levels, inspecting lubrication lines, and verifying the operation of lubrication pumps are essential tasks during weekly inspections. Electrical systems, with their invisible currents and potential for dangerous shocks or fires, also demand meticulous attention during weekly checks. Inspecting electrical panels, wiring, connections, and components for signs of overheating, damage, or loose connections can prevent electrical faults that could disrupt operations or even lead to fires. Section 4. Monthly inspections. Comprehensive care. Monthly inspections, the most comprehensive of the routine checks, provide an opportunity to delve into the intricate workings of the engine room, addressing systems and components that require less frequent but equally crucial attention. These inspections, often conducted during a designated maintenance period, allow for a thorough and methodical assessment of the engine room's overall health, identifying potential problems that might not be readily apparent during daily or weekly checks. Think of monthly inspections as the engine room's equivalent of a thorough medical checkup, a comprehensive assessment that goes beyond the surface to ensure that everything is functioning optimally. Just as a doctor might order blood tests, x-rays, or other diagnostic procedures during a checkup, so too do engineers use specialized tools and equipment to assess the condition of critical systems and components during monthly inspections. Engine performance is often a primary focus of monthly inspections. Analyzing engine oil for signs of contamination or degradation, inspecting fuel injectors for clogging or wear, and checking compression ratios in cylinders are just a few examples of the detailed tasks involved in assessing engine health. These inspections help to identify potential problems early on, allowing for timely maintenance or repairs that can prevent costly breakdowns and extend the lifespan of these vital pieces of equipment. Propulsion systems responsible for driving the ship through the water also require careful scrutiny during monthly inspections. Checking the alignment of shafts, inspecting bearings for wear, and verifying the integrity of seals are crucial for ensuring the smooth and efficient operation of the propulsion system. Section 5. Safe Maintenance Procedures. A systematic approach in the intricate and potentially hazardous environment of the ship's engine room, where a single misstep can have cascading consequences. Safe maintenance procedures are not mere suggestions. They are the bedrock upon which a culture of safety is built. These procedures, meticulously crafted and rigorously enforced, provide a systematic framework for conducting maintenance and repair tasks in a manner that minimizes risks to personnel, protects equipment, and ensures the continued operation of the vessel. Safe maintenance procedures typically begin with thorough planning and preparation. Before commencing any task, it's crucial to identify the scope of the work, the potential hazards involved, the necessary tools and materials, and the appropriate safety precautions. This planning phase often involves consulting technical manuals, conducting risk assessments, and obtaining any necessary permits or authorizations. Once the planning phase is complete, the next step is to isolate the system or equipment being worked on. This involves de-energizing electrical circuits, isolating mechanical systems, and securing any moving parts to prevent accidental activation or release of stored energy. Lockout, tagout procedures, discussed in detail in a previous section, play a critical role in this isolation process. With the system or equipment isolated, the next step is to verify that the isolation is complete and effective. This may involve using voltage detectors to confirm that electrical circuits are de-energized, physically checking that valves are closed and locked, or verifying that mechanical systems are disengaged and secured. Section 6. Lockout, tag out your safety net. In the heart of the ship's engine room, where machinery hums with relentless power and electrical currents course through a labyrinth of conduits, the lockout-tagout procedure stands as a sentinel, a non-negotiable safety protocol that protects personnel from the invisible forces that can maim or kill. It's not merely a best practice. It's a lifeline in an environment where a moment's inattention or a single misstep can have devastating consequences. Lockout or tagout, often abbreviated as LOTO, is a systematic safety procedure used to de-energize machinery or equipment before performing maintenance, repairs, or cleaning. Its purpose is simple yet profound: to prevent the accidental startup or release of stored energy while work is being done, safeguarding personnel from electrical shock, entanglement in moving parts, or exposure to hazardous materials. The LOTO procedure typically involves a series of steps, each designed to ensure that the equipment is rendered inoperable and that this inoperable state is clearly communicated to all personnel. The first step is to identify all energy sources associated with the equipment, whether electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, chemical, or thermal. This may involve consulting schematics, diagrams, or technical manuals. Once the energy sources have been identified, the next step is to isolate them from the equipment. This may involve shutting off circuit breakers, disconnecting switches, closing valves, venting pressure, or physically blocking moving parts. The key is to ensure that energy cannot flow to the equipment while work is being done. Section 7. Accurate documentation. A record of responsibility. In the meticulous world of the ship's engine room, where precision and accountability are paramount, accurate documentation of inspections and maintenance activities is not merely a bureaucratic formality. It's a testament to the crew's commitment to safety, a record of responsibility that ensures the continued reliability of the vessel and the well-being of those who sail aboard her. Think of the engine room logbook as the ship's memory, a chronological record of its mechanical lifeblood. Just as a ship's log records its course, speed, and encounters at sea, so too does the engine room logbook chronicle the health, maintenance, and any ailments of its vital machinery. This meticulous record keeping serves multiple purposes, all of which contribute to the safe and efficient operation of the vessel. First and foremost, accurate documentation provides a historical record of inspections and maintenance, allowing engineers to track the condition of equipment over time, identify recurring problems, and anticipate future maintenance needs. This historical perspective is invaluable for making informed decisions about repairs, replacements, or upgrades, ensuring that the engine room remains in peak operating condition. Secondly, documentation serves as a communication tool, enabling different shifts and crew members to stay informed about the status of equipment, any ongoing maintenance activities, or potential problems that have been identified. This Seamless flow of information helps to prevent misunderstandings, ensures continuity of operations, and promotes a culture of shared responsibility for the engine room's well-being. Section 8. A commitment to upkeep. In the heart of the ship's engine room, where the relentless hum of machinery provides the pulse of the vessel, a commitment to routine inspections and meticulous maintenance is not merely a best practice. It's a testament to the crew's dedication to their craft, a reflection of their understanding that a well-maintained engine room is not just about efficiency, but also about safety, reliability, and the trust placed in them to keep the ship sailing smoothly through the unpredictable waters ahead. This commitment to upkeep is not a burden, but a badge of honor, a recognition that the engine room is not just a workplace, but a living, breathing organism that requires constant care and attention. It's about taking pride in the ship and its ability to navigate the seas, knowing that every inspection, every adjustment, every repair contributes to that success. This commitment starts with fostering a culture of safety within the engine room, where every crew member understands the importance of adhering to procedures, reporting potential hazards, and taking ownership of their role in maintaining a safe working environment. It's about creating a climate where shortcuts are unacceptable, complacency is challenged, and safety is not just a priority, but a core value. Regular safety meetings, training sessions, and toolbox talks provide opportunities to reinforce the importance of routine inspections and maintenance, share best practices, and address any concerns or questions that crew members may have. These forums also provide a platform for recognizing and rewarding those who demonstrate enormous commitment to excellence in maintaining the engine room's safety and efficiency. Section 1. A shared responsibility. We've journeyed deep into the heart of the ship, exploring the engine room, a place of raw power, intricate machinery, and unwavering dedication. We've shed light on the potential hazards that lurk within this vital space, from the searing heat of engines to the invisible threat of electrical currents. We've emphasized the importance of personal protective equipment, those essential barriers between you and potential harm. But most importantly, we've stressed that safety in the engine room is not merely a set of rules to be followed, but a shared responsibility, a collective commitment to protecting ourselves and our shipmates. It's about looking out for one another, speaking up when we see something unsafe, and never compromising on procedures, no matter how routine a task may seem. Remember, the engine room doesn't tolerate shortcuts or complacency. It demands our full attention, our respect for its power, and our unwavering dedication to safe work practices. Every time you step into the engine room, you're stepping onto a stage where the stakes are high and the performance is continuous. But you're not alone on this stage. You're part of a team, a crew, bound by a common purpose and a shared commitment to safety. And that teamwork, that shared responsibility, is the most powerful tool you have in preventing accidents and ensuring that everyone returns home safely after a successful voyage. Section 2. Sailing towards safety. As we conclude this voyage into the heart of engine room safety, let's carry with us the knowledge that knowledge is power. And in this demanding environment, that power translates directly into safety. Let's embrace the principles we've discussed, making them an integral part of our daily routines, our interactions with our crewmates, and our commitment to the well-being of both ourselves and the vessel. Let the engine room, with its symphony of controlled chaos, serve as a constant reminder that vigilance is not a burden, but a badge of honor, a testament to our professionalism and our dedication to the safety of all who sail with us. Let us sail forward, not with fear of the potential dangers, but with the confidence that comes from knowledge, preparation, and an unwavering commitment to safety. Let's make every voyage a testament to the power of a shared responsibility for safety, a journey where everyone returns home safe and sound, ready to embark on new adventures. Remember, in the engine room and beyond, safety is a journey, not a destination. Let's sail towards safety together.